Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today we will be continuing on with our Sonic Unleashed playthrough. So yeah, let's get straight into this. So yeah, here we are on the world map and we actually need to head over to Spagonia at night so we can obviously go through that stage. So yeah, let's do this then.
Oh, Sonic! I've been looking for you forever!
Hey, let me go!
You're crazy if you think you can get away from Amy Rose and... Who are you? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry! I just completely mistook you for someone else! That is so strange. I could have sworn it was him. Anyway, I'm really sorry. See you later!
Well, that was weird. How come that girl didn't know you were you, Sonic? I mean, I guess you are kinda, you know, and, these guys. I mean, don't worry. Hey, you only look really scary, Sonic. Inside, you're the same as ever. I guarantee it, okay? Sonic, cheer up. Chocolate. Want some chocolate?
That cutscene is always so funny to me. It's kind of crazy how obviously in the few games that did come out in the early 2000s, such as, you know, the likes of Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, and this game, that Amy sort of mistakes Sonic for other people, but you know, in this game she actually gets it right this time, but she does not realize that, you know, the Hedgehog actually is Sonic, which yeah, is always quite amusing to me anyway. So yes, here we are in the professor's office and he's got some important information to tell us. So yeah, let's wait and see what he actually has to say. He's found the second location in Alaska, but that is not where we're going to be going today. Yes, we've already been there with the professor. Can we get more important information? Do we need hints? There we go. That's what we need to answer. And yeah, let's go on over to here. There's nothing in the inventory. So yeah, I guess we're good then, I think. Maybe let's hints. No. Okay. Yeah, we're completely fine. Let's go on over to the actual stage then. So yeah, here we are. I do not believe there are any moon medals to collect around here at the moment, unless we went on over to the daytime, but you know what, we'll save that for the next video. And yeah, let's just head on over to Rooftop Run Act 1 night. Right then, here we go inside of Rooftop Run Night, of course. And yes, the first thing that you want to be doing inside of this stage is definitely going into all of these stores, because there are definitely gonna be some moon and sun medals that, you know, are hidden inside of each little store potentially for you to find. So yeah, this is where, you know, the Hedgehog stages really can get a bit long, especially if you are, you know, looking for them sun and moon medals, of course. But yeah, that is definitely one of the tips that I would recommend for you guys, is just spend as much time as possible inside of these Hedgehog stages and you know, collecting as many sun and moon medals as you possibly can, because yeah, you're definitely gonna need a lot of them, as I always mention inside of these videos. You definitely want to try and get a lot of them before you get to Adabat, of course, because by the time you get to Adabat and you know, you potentially don't have enough, you're going to be really annoyed having to backtrack and, you know, collecting them all while, you know, you've got that last mission, last level, or, you know, not the last one, but, you know, the last one before Eggman Land, I guess, waiting for you. You know, it can be such a pain from, you know, going to Adabat and, you know, enjoying it, and then obviously you get to that last little bit before Eggman Land and you don't have enough. You're gonna be so angry, and I wouldn't want you to be angry, so make sure that you are collecting as many medals beforehand, because my god, it might take forever, but you certainly will not regret, you know, the amount of hours you could potentially be doing collecting medals earlier on in the game, and then, you know, having to potentially backtrack at the end of it, which can always be a pain inside of these games that require you to collect a lot of stuff. But yeah, let's grab this box then and hopefully throw it at this enemy, which we do, and now we can pick it up and throw it around at that enemy, which is lovely. Can we get some quick time events on here? Come on. Oh, it wasn't gonna let me. That is a shame, and we got hit as well, which is not cool. Get out of here, mate. Boom. Let me pick you up, in fact, and I'm gonna throw you at you. But yeah, we also want to be making sure that we are picking up as many of the XP as possible, because yeah, we definitely want to be upgrading the Hedgehog as much as possible, as well as obviously modern Sonic as well. We want to be making sure that we have a lot of XP, so that, you know, we can go super fast in the modern Sonic stages, and also, you know, take out enemies easier inside of these Hedgehog stages then. But yeah, let's go on over and put these down so we can open up this door. There's a life here, which is great. And now let me put this one down. I'm just gonna make sure that I have not forgotten any moon medals or sun medals hidden around here. I don't think I have. So yeah, let's move on until the next stage. Oh, we've got to open this, which is great. Let's take out these enemies in the process before we actually get to activate the switch. Oh my god, we could have done a quick time bend. Here we go. Lovely. Circle and circle. Straight forward. And now you, I don't think you can escape me. Get here. Bang. Get out. And you little guys as well. Get gone. he's gonna stay alive? No? Okay, cool. Lovely. Grab this XP, and I think more are gonna spawn in right on top of me, which is great. Luckily, you know, you don't take any damage from them spawning in like that, because that would be so unfair in my opinion anyway. But yeah, let's make sure we grab as much of this XP as possible before it despawns. Oh, like that one. That is so annoying. But yeah, let's activate this lever, bring that barrel down, and now let's head on over to there. Oh, not before these guys though. And honestly, you want to be making sure that you are taking these out as quickly as possible, or you are going to be regretting that choice, because they will fire at you, and honestly, they are the most annoying things once they start firing. So I would highly recommend that you go on over and take them out as quickly as possible. Let me grab that sun medal and throw that at you. Now activate unleash. Can we get down? Come on, we need to get down, and now we can start attacking this big enemy here quick before it actually tries to attack us. Oh god, that is great. We can actually do a quick time event. Lovely. Circle and circle again. Triangle. And now we are inside of it, and bang, rush. Get out of here. Lovely. Loads of XP. We can move on, which is great. And yeah, let's go on over and open this door up. Place that there. That is lovely. I'm gonna actually smash that, see if there's anything hidden, which there is. And yeah, checkpoint now. Let's move on. Oh yeah, and now this is the area where you start getting locked in, which is not cool. Oh my god, I almost missed that, and I almost missed that one. That would have been bad, but we managed to just quickly get the quick time events on time, which is great. And one more. No, you know what, I'm just going to deal with you. I don't want to go too far forward here because the gate will open, and we do not want that. We want to, you know, make sure that we are collecting as many of these medals and, you know, just regular collectibles as possible. And, you know, there are so many hidden around here in very, you know, hidden away spots as well, that, you know, you obviously need to go and explore and find them all out for yourself. Or you can, you know, watch this video and hopefully I would have collected most of them by the end of it. But to be honest, I don't know every location. I just know the ones that, you know, I've collected from in the past. But that's about it, to be honest. Oh my god, what is camera work with me? Jesus, give me that moon medal. That is lovely. Is there any more? No. Let's drop down now, just to make sure that we've went through every single little door, which we have. And now we can move on to here and deal with more enemies. Oh god, let's just use unleashed here actually, because I cannot be bothered to deal with these guys, to be completely honest. Because yeah, as I said, you do not want them shooting at you, because if they do, you are going to struggle so much, to be honest. And that is honestly one of my favorite things to do, is perfectly time that shield. It's just so satisfying, to be perfectly honest. Even though obviously you don't have to like perfectly time it, it's still pretty fun to do, to be honest. It kind of reminds me of, you know, the parry inside of Sonic Frontiers. And yeah, obviously the parry inside of that game is kind of crazy, especially when you play it on the Sonic Frontiers Final Horizon DLC that got added to the game, you know, with the extreme mode, I think it was, if I remember correctly, where you basically, I don't even know the actual time frame of that, you know, parry that you had to do. It was so crazy. You had to almost pretty much be perfect, and that took me so many tries. I would be interested to know how many tries, you know, the Final Horizon update on the hardest difficulty took you guys, because yeah, I did really struggle with it quite a lot, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I always love to see difficulty inside of Sonic games. It is one of the most amazing things, to be perfectly honest, to have, you know, a difficult gameplay inside of these games, especially with, you know, how the 2010s were for Sonic games. They were completely awful in terms of, you know, how easy it was, especially, you know, the likes of Sonic Colors and obviously Sonic Generations is an amazing game, but you know, you can't say it was hard or anything like that. It was probably one of the easiest Sonic games, to be perfectly honest with you. But again, it is just a celebration game. I'm just making sure that we've collected all. Oh no, there's one door that we can break down here. Is there anything useful inside of here? There actually is a sun medal, so thank God we collected that. That would have been a disaster if we did not collect it, to be honest, because yeah, we definitely want to be collecting as many sun medals as possible, because they are the ones that require the more, you know, effort, because yeah, you need 120 sun medals to unlock that last level inside of Adabat, of course. Yeah, I don't believe there's anything on this side. Let me just make sure. No, we can just move on to over to here. But yeah, the Hedgehog itself is honestly, as I've already mentioned, kind of cool inside this game, at least to me. I really, you know, the gameplay is not the best, of course, but I still do enjoy it because of how awkward it is. I don't know, I just find a lot of fun when, you know, things can be a bit awkward inside the games. It makes me like want to try even harder to get better at it, and you know, that's what really appeals to me about the Hedgehog as well. You know, I just love the way the Hedgehog looks. I love his design, and you know, Jason Griffith done amazingly with the Hedgehog's voice. But yeah, it would also be interesting if the Hedgehog actually did get its own like co-op mode you could potentially play in the future, because you know, I think with all the platforming and stuff like that for the Hedgehog, it would have been quite interesting, to say the least, to, you know, play it with another person, because yeah, I think the platforming sections in like a cooperative setting would be really cool. But yeah, we've got this big enemy to deal with here. We're just gonna activate Unleashed and absolutely just try and destroy it here as good as possible. We're gonna block him, and now circle, make sure we lock in, square, and square again. Now we're inside it, and it is dead. But yeah, now is coming up to, honestly, my favorite part of this level, because I actually really do like climbing this tower. I will actually say that the tower itself could have done with, you know, like no insta-death once you reach a certain part of, you know, the tower itself with the checkpoints. But apart from that, I really do enjoy just this little section of climbing the tower, even though it can be a bit awkward like that. Oh my god, that was so close. But yeah, we are good. Now let's just swing across, come up here. But yeah, this is just really cool. Honestly, this is one of the highlights for me of the Hedgehog's gameplay. Oh my god, even though I'm not doing it any justice, to be perfectly honest, I just love this little section so much. I always think about it when I'm thinking of, you know, the Hedgehog's gameplay and everything like that. But yeah, let me know what your favorite section for the Hedgehog is inside of this game, and I will be really interested. Is that a sun medal? It is. Now we need to jump on over to here, making sure that we do not fall. A good tip for the Hedgehog is, if you are obviously playing it on PlayStation, if you hold down the circle button, the Hedgehog will automatically grab on to the platforms, which is really good, to be honest. And yeah, it is definitely one tip I would give you guys. Not that I've got many tips for, you know, this game, because I am not really that experienced with it. You know, this is probably, yeah, this is going to be my first time ever completing this game, this playthrough, which, yeah, I'm obviously so excited about, to be perfectly honest. The chance that, you know, I can finally complete a game that I've wanted to complete for basically all of my life. You know, we finally get the chance to do so, thanks to the incredible work by the Recompiled team, which, yeah, I am still mind blown by the fact that, you know, this game has finally been ported over to PC. It's just simply incredible how talented people are these days. But yeah, now we are into this section. I think we have to move this clock around, and yeah, let's just do that. There we go, lovely. And now we've got to kind of be quick, because I believe it will start to turn around. Oh no, okay, never mind. That was just, you know, me not remembering very well. But yeah, this is so sick. I just love how cool this looks as well. But let's grab on to these enemies. Lovely. And now jump down. Oh my god, just completely miss everything there. I believe there's a medal behind here. That is lovely. And now we've got this. I wish the camera would turn the other way, but, and, you know, face behind Sonic for this, because this can be a bit awkward, but hopefully we can do well. That is lovely. Now we're just going to activate Unleash to deal with these enemies here. And yeah, let's just make light work of these, or not. You know what, we're just gonna quick time event you, because we simply can. That is simply lovely. That is the key that we need. I'm just making sure that there are no medals hidden around here, as well as, you know, you never know these days. You know, medals can literally be anywhere. And there is this platforming thing down here. I'm just making sure that there aren't. Is there something there? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's just, you know, get this. And now we are done. What rank are we going to get? An A. You know what? I am happy with that, considering we spent a lot of time finding these medals, and that is simply lovely, to be honest. 10 out of 10 some medals. We cannot really complain with that. That is pretty much perfect. Well, no, it is not pretty much perfect. it is perfect, and 4 out of 6 moon medals, which is not too bad as well. Some collectibles, which is lovely, and of course the Gaia K Knight. And yeah, wow, we've got a lot to upgrade here, so let's just spend a few of these on the Hedgehog. You know, I might just get him to level 10 in terms of combat. I'm gonna upgrade his strength as well if I can. That is cool. But yeah, I think we'll have to sort of wait to upgrade the rest of them in later videos, and there's obviously nothing we can do to modern Sonic then. But yeah, that is going to be all for today's video. I hope you have all enjoyed it, and until next time, peace out.